give you a walkthrough of the process of using. Right, so we're going to start off with static mesh. Oh yeah, here we are. As you can see, it's just plain mesh, some rounded edges. I'll show you how many. It's got basically just a simple bevel on there. It makes the shader pick up and add the damage to it. So the shader works by certain normal angles, and then it will kind of like use it as a mask to where it's put the scratch damage. So you can see with this mesh, where are we? So you can see it's a bit more difficult with. There, look, see that? It's that corner. So all we have is just a bevel. So it's just like 1, 2, 3 faces. So one face for the corner. Okay. We'll start off with the line flipping first. As you can see, it just drops in like this, and basically one up here, and yeah. So if you want a rounded angle, then I say when rounded angle, I mean rounded corners. So if you want rounded corners, then I would suggest that because it's a bezel, you create the corner like this, and then just kind of rein in those corner pieces. And there you go. That's pretty much the basics of it. Obviously, because I have the mesh there, you can kind of see the corner, and it would be better if that mesh was in a different material, right? So what I'm going to do instead is, because I have the need for a straight edge, I can change this. So instead of when this bends, the mesh bends, basically have a mesh without any edges in it. So we're going to change this to thick straight, and then now you see, no matter how much you bend it, the mesh doesn't bend. It's just going literally the polygon is going from here to here, so there's no bending when you kind of move these the edges. To apologize, it is 9:20 in the morning, so it's a bit early. I've had my coffee, so no excuse there, but still. Okay, so pretty much we just want to bring in the edges just so they're nice and neat. And then we come down to here, and just because we don't want to stretch things out, it just is good practice. Every meter, I just break off a new edge. I think it's just a good practice to do. Alright, and then we just pull this one across here, and then we just grab these bezels. And so you just keep an eye where they are. I'm just going to rein these back like that, right? And just make sure they don't twist over themselves. There we go. See, they're not too fiddly. They're just pretty standard, really. It's just that the handles kind of get away from themselves sometimes. So, I mean, here I did create a handle. See, what I'd probably do here is get out decal here. I'll go for like a handle and rotate this around. I mean, we changed the metal or alpha, it doesn't really matter. But then look, you can stick a handle here now. That works quite nicely. And you can either like, you know, finish that there, or you know, if you wanted to, you could go all the way around that corner. Don't think we really need to. I don't think you can pull in from that side. Oh, you can. Normally I wouldn't advise going adding to the other side of the spline, but in this occasion it's fine. So just want to move that across a little bit, you know, grab this one here and just kind of get it here. And you press G to hide the UI, and yeah, that's looking pretty good. You know, that's pretty smart. I like it. Okay. I apologise if for the mouse clicking and buttons is a bit jarring, but I don't have a way to edit that out at the moment, so excuse me. Alright, so we've got our handle in now, and yeah, we can kind of let's take an example of what I've created. This was all put together in Blender. You can pretty much do the same thing in Unreal now. We're using this tool. So we're going to take out some bolts, and let's have a look what we got here. Got a vent there. Actually, indentation is pretty neat. Let's pick. That's some similar things as the other one. Dimple plate. This looks pretty cool. And change this to metal. So now we can kind of put these in like this. Press G to get the icons back. See, these star ones are slightly different, aren't they? Bar, I think it's bar I used. So you can scale these as well to wherever you want. And yeah, it's looking pretty neat. Okay, let's get some detailing on the side going on. So that's pretty good. Just take this, and I'm going to spin that around. And I'm going to start it from here. There we go. Perfect. And stick some vents on the side. So that's the blueprints. And we want extendables here. Just rotate them to the front faces, the direction you want. So we got vent, which is what we want. There we go. We can either keep that as metal, or we can obviously we can change that. With the options here, this is all using 2 material instances, which is good in case you merge things. You don't want to have too many dynamic materials, and they're all using these 2 materials here. So that's the masters, and then the materials are here. Material instance A for alpha, and then BC for base color. So that one has the metallic on it, and they're all going to use those material instances unless if you tick make dynamic, then it kind of gives you the control then, and it makes this a completely unique material instance. So it's all material instance, but it's just dynamically creating it for this blueprint. And obviously you can go in here and change like the roughness, metallic value. You kind of really have that as you want. Obviously if you turn that off, it's going to go back then to using one of these 2 material instances. So for this, we're going to turn this off. Shall we? Actually, no, let's just leave it. It's metallic metal, right? And let's get some more blueprints in there. As you can see on the wall here, these are the examples. So the master lines, these ones are pretty cool here. So we go to master lines, and we rotate it around, grab it here, and rotate it down. And like I say, kind of every meter, it's just good to have a node there. So put this down again, and we're going to change this to the girder structure. Girder. I'm just going to put this in place here and change this to alpha. So now we've got a nice structure on this piece here, which is good. And we're going to duplicate that for the other side as well. And I'll just around here and show what I'm doing. I'm just going to take this round 190. There you go. Nice. I mean, we don't want to overkill it with details either, so you can really sort of stop whenever you're happy. So if you've got mesh pieces that do take a while to decals, you can come in here and say this is a great place for event, And obviously with this, it's an extendable, so if you keep pulling out, it will keep adding, as many middle pieces as you want, basically. So yeah, let's change this one to alpha already. Yeah, that's looking nice. This got my panel on here, and there's obviously additional things you can do, like if you bring in the nuts and bolts, you can just bring these in, and that defines alpha normal, and we can change those to like something a bit more realistic, like an Allen key. The Allen key one's really nice. It's got a nice deep parallax to it. You can see there. Then I think it's nice with the washer as well, to be honest. So let's find one with the washer. So that makes the thing with details, you don't want to get lost either. Otherwise, there's no point in adding them. So that's quite nice. Let's get a bit more space away from these lines. So just drag this across. And we can kind of pull these down to here as well. So if you look at this now, we've got some washers, which looks decent. And the back, we can add some details too. So let's just duplicate this again. And put this on here. And just grab these and pull them across. You press Control and Alt to select multiple spline points. And obviously some of these, tools like exist in other ones. So that one's extendable for the vents. If you want just a single vent, there's also the sticker parts, BP. So for instance, now, we're going to just like grab these sticker parts. So we grab on one of these. It does come out a bit more, faces that direction. That's just because of the requirements of Unreal needs you to face the X direction. So we're going to change this to vent, right? Let's just check the rotation on this, 180. So we're just going to stretch this. And you can kind of scale these how much you want. Give some big old beefy vents here. Alright. And then now we can start doing the fun things like the decals. So yeah, got the panel lines there. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see, we can come down, do the same things. We can grab another one here. And yeah, we can make that one of these. This one's got a metal bolt on the back, maybe. Just being different, Obviously, none of these would all be Allen keys. What I'll probably do here now is having to do the sticker decals. Just scale this down. There we go, that's the model number. I'm going to get a warning. Do you mind? Yeah, that's on local. Be careful when you're navigating things or scaling. Okay. So we've got a big old caution slide on there now. Yeah, because these are pretty heavy duty servers. Yeah, they could be running on it's pretty dangerous cooling liquids inside. And I'm gonna go for, should we go for, maybe that's the number of the model number, you know. So we go back round to the front. We'll just copy these 3 pieces here. And there we go. And that's using the wrong screen decals, so let's just change that material to the server one. There we go. I mean, like I say, you can kind of put as many decals as you want really on this. They work nicely. Now you can see that the normal underneath. Got a fan there. Got some detail on the back there. Some on the side. And you can really add as much as you want, really. It's up to you guys. Let's just take. So if I show you just one more time how to use the line tool. Okay. Say I want to do a curve, right? So basically, this is how I start. So you want 1 point there, and then you want 1 point here, and then this curve and the edges. You basically just like bring them in so they're nice, and we just pull it under the length. If you're very well with curve, Bezier curves before, you kind of get an understanding of how they work. You just get them till you kind of get a corner that you like. Depends on how much kind of bevel you want on it. Do the same thing. Bring this down. That's looking nice. Just going to zoom back so you kind of get like a similar curve on each one. And do the same thing. Pull this up. Like that. Otherwise, it's going to space them out every 1 meter, otherwise the handles do get larger and larger. So you put this up again here. And this is the last piece, so just kind of pull that one back a bit. And then we're just going to pull this to where that point is. And we're just going to get that in place. And this one is the last one. Let me just pull this one down here, and that's looking pretty nice. You don't have to be accurate, exact with this. It just works. How's that looking? Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So let's just add on a few more nuts and bolts to this. I like the washer ones, to be honest. And yeah, I could leave those metallic if they've just been replaced, or even do some metallic and then some, kind of painted. There's always an option. Like I had to replace one because I couldn't find the original. Someone didn't put it away properly. That's looking quite nice now. Honestly, you can add as many of these decals as you want, really. That's pretty good. Like, so you really can, honestly, it gets addictive. You just want to keep adding more and more and more details. But, eventually you have to stop. So I kind of like that. I think that's looking pretty smart. And for this demo, we're going to stop there. Actually, before I stop, let me just show you the material options. So we can throw on this orange if you want. And there's some damage and no damage ones down here. Let's check this out. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? So if you want no damage on that compartment there, but you just want it chrome or whatever you want, really. Ugh, that's a bit too strong, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty smart. I like that. You'll see on the machine as well, there's the corner damage we spoke about earlier on. You can see that easier with the darker material, I guess, or even like that. And this damage is editable. So whenever mesh comes in, normally it's applied with vertex colors. So if you don't bring your own vertex color, it just overrides it, and it'll make the entire thing, either white value or black value or the RGB channels. And this basically, the shader has a mask in it. So I don't know if you ever used vertex painting before, but if you go to mesh paint and then RGB channels, and we go to paint, and basically going to paint a white value. It's showing me just the vertex colors at the minute. Okay, so you just basically, it just shows you what you're doing, right? So look, I'm painting white vertex paint on the model, And what is it doing? Basically, wherever you paint white, it's going to take away the damage on the edges. So you see all this edge damage here. If we start painting, this white vertex paint takes away that damage. So if you want to have a brand new server, you know, when it was scratched up, by painting this white vertex paint, it's going to take away the damage on the edges. Oppositely, apparently, on this material here, which is taken from the wall mesh that you can see on this one. Okay. Anyway, but yes, you get the idea. But yeah, basically, that's what it does. So that concludes this short tutorial on how to use a decal machine, an idea of what you can achieve with it, and also how fun it is and how fast it is as well. And as always, get in touch with any suggestions or any requests. I've just added some changes to the tool. For instance, I felt like I had all these set to automatic dynamic materials instances, and I thought it's a lot to be creating a new material instance for every single decal you use. So now there's the option to override. So by default, they're just using a normal standard material instance. They're all using the same one. But if you want to make it unique, you basically click it, and then you've got the option then to go in and then make it completely unique, you know, for your for your purpose. We turn it back off again. It's just reverting back to using one of these two materials here. And I've just added a new map and example to kind of show you what's achievable. This is the server room. Can I go full screen with this? I don't know. Let's try it. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically what's included now in the update 2. So you guys can go in here and play with this. There's some new tools like a door making tool. You can make any shaped door frame you want, which I think is pretty cool. And obviously all the floor and walls are made with the door mesh tool, which is pretty sweet. It's going to show you what you can kind of achieve with this, you know. So like I said, this is kind of all included with the update 2. Whenever I make new maps of the decal, some of them will be added to the decal factory pack. So this one will be on the store eventually, and all of it is made with this decal factory, this tool, which is pretty cool. I love it. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Any questions, just shoot me up with an email, and hope you all love it. Thank you very much.